guys, and welcome to the advanced section of 5/4 drum beats. My name is Dave Atkinson, and on this video I'm going to show you some advanced beats in 5/4. They're a lot trickier than the intermediate section, so if you are having trouble with them, go back to that. Again, I'm going to say watch the introduction to 5/4. It's a really cool video, and it's a great way of learning how to count and get a better feel for 5/4. That being said, let's just dive right on into it. Here's beat number one. Beat number one is a linear pattern. Now, a linear pattern is something that you play where no two notes actually hit at the same time. So I'm going to be playing it on the toms and the snare and the bass drum. The main pattern I'm going to be doing, and you're going to see this in the actual beat, is a triplet feel, but it's not in triplet notes, okay? So what I'm going to be playing is my right hand, my left hand, and my right foot. It's a very simple three-note pattern. I'm sure you've heard it before, but I'm not going to be playing it in a triplet feel. I'm going to be playing it in straight 6/8 notes. Here's what that looks like, just on the toms and my foot, so you can get a kind of a feel of what I'm doing, and then I'm going to show you how to play this in this linear pattern. Here's what it looks like. Now you might notice that that sounds like a triplet pattern, and a lot of people play it in a triplet feel, but as you can see on the sheet music, I'm going to be playing it in 16th notes, okay? So follow along with me. And because this is a 5/4 pattern, it's going to feel really weird repeating back into it, and you're going to notice that I can't keep doing the same pattern the whole way through, otherwise it's not going to line up. So you'll notice on the very last bar, I'm going to be playing one little shot with my hand on the tom and my feet. You'll see what I mean when I play it. I'm going to play it slow, and then I'm going to go right into playing it fast so you can get a good understanding of it. I hope you enjoy this one. All right, so beat number two is actually a really fun linear pattern to play. I play it all the time in 4/4, so I wanted to make it applicable in a 5/4 setting, so I added a few more notes in and came up with a really cool groove. Now, the trick to this one is the ghost notes, okay? Whenever you see a note that has brackets around it, play it as quiet as possible, and then play the snare drum that doesn't have brackets as loud as possible. I mean, don't go crazy and do a huge rim shot every time, but just make it noticeable with those dynamic changes. It's going to make the groove sound so much better. Second of all, check the hi-hats out, okay? This is the trick to learning this beat, in my opinion. The hi-hats are going to fall on the and, so on the upbeat of every quarter note, okay? That's your foundation. If you get stuck, always remember it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and, okay? So that should be your starting point. From there, basically just pick it apart note for note. All right, this pattern is a really fun pattern to play slow and fast, so let me show you how it sounds. Here we go. All right, so there you have two linear 5/4 beats for you. They're pretty advanced, so hopefully you can pick them up. Remember, those dynamics are really key to making those patterns groove, okay? Let's move on to something that has a bit different feel. This next exercise, beat number 3, is a shuffle. Now, if you really want to get technical, it's actually a 15/8 shuffle. And if you know what 12/8 is, it's basically 12 8-note triplets per every measure. Similar thing with this one, but because it's 5/4, you're actually counting a 15/8 bar. Let's not worry about that. Let's not try to get our heads, you know, in a bind here trying to worry about note values and all that. Let's just play this pattern. It's a really cool beat, and you'll never know when you're going to run into a situation where you're playing a shuffle and the music calls for a 5/4 pattern. Now you know how to play a 5/4 shuffle. Here we go. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that pattern. One thing I did want to mention, something that I mentioned on another video, is to make sure you practice these at a slower tempo. It's actually a lot harder to play some of these patterns slow than it is fast. And it makes you much more of a proficient drummer if you can play these kind of patterns at a slow tempo and at a fast tempo. It'll also help get you to realize where the notes should land, and it makes it groove a lot better when you can master it at a slow tempo too. Let's move on to this next pattern. It's a 5/4 songo, okay? It's a bit tricky. What I did is I took a basic 4/4 songo, added a quarter note in, and I kind of made a groove in a Latin feel. Take a look at this pattern and try and break it down as simplistic as possible, okay? To start, you're gonna notice that my right hand is gonna be playing the bell of the ride cymbal, and it's gonna be playing it on every quarter note, okay? Next thing you're gonna wanna notice is that my left foot is gonna be playing the hi-hats on every upbeat or every and of the quarter note, okay? So that sounds like this. So I would suggest starting there. The next thing is focusing on that bass drum. That has to line up correctly, otherwise it's not gonna sound very Latin at all. When you get to the snare drum, again, make sure you're using dynamics. Those ghost notes really need to be quiet, and the regular notes really need to be loud. This is how this one sounds slow. Whew, okay, that was a pretty tricky beat. Hopefully you guys picked it up. If not, watch it again and again and again and again. And remember, with the sheet music, take it note for note if you have to, okay? Get that pattern down first, then start playing it to a click. It's pretty tricky to play this one slow, like I said, but enjoy it. Play that to some Latin music and it's gonna sound awesome. I hope you enjoyed these advanced 5/4 drum beats. There's so many different things you can do with these. There's so many different beats you can come up with yourself. So I hope that you have a better understanding for 5/4, and I'll see you on the drum fills section of 5/4 drumming. Hey guys, and welcome to the advanced section of 5/4. Got some Latin tracks in here too, so different styles of music that I'm gonna try and teach in here. Balls. 5/4 drum beats. Now, my name is Dave Atkinson, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Left hand, right foot. Okay, I'll show you. Oh, it's left. Let's do another one that's good. In 4/4, so I decided let's make it picture it as, I gotta start remembering where I have cut-ins, and then I'm gonna move right into this faster tempo. Let's move on to something that feels a lot different. This next pattern, belch. What are you smiling at, Trent? What I like to do is keep in mind, one of the things that I always like to, make sure you practice these songs and play a 5/4 shuffle. You know, it's really cool. So, no, I don't like that. Play them at a decent sized. Simplistically, I like to do it bass drum Latin kind of accent those and let's go on to the. I'll see you around on the.